course, we're trying to hit that upper chest. You guys want that upper chest. I'm gonna show you the biggest mistake that most guys make. Okay, we're here and we're gonna be doing some chest today. One of the most often overlooked parts of chest training, in my opinion, is the decline press. Reason why the decline is often overlooked is because guys are so focused on the upper chest. Definitely wanna hit the upper chest today, but we wanna make sure we're taking care of the full range of the chest. So the way I like to break it down, just to show you guys a visual example of what I'm talking about here, we're gonna call this the pennation angle. So the pennation angle, if we can imagine the fibers of the chest running on different angles from the insertion. So one angle would be my upper chest into my clavicle. One would be that upper kind of, we call this upper middle, call that middle chest. We'll call that decline middle, call that decline. So essentially you want to target all of these angles or pennations in one workout, which includes decline. So decline, flat, incline, all be included to hit the full range of the chest. And that's what we're gonna do today, guys. So make sure you stay tuned for some awesome chest training Make sure you guys stay tuned for some awesome chest training tips. We're gonna be starting off here with a little bit of a different movement. Maybe you guys have seen this in some of my past videos, but this is gonna be a combination of a pec minor dip and an activation for our chest. We call this the Scarecrow Dip because it kind of resembles a scarecrow more so than a traditional dip. So what we're looking at here is my elbows coming out real wide here, as opposed to what normally we do on a dip is bring our elbows right back. We're not actually making the elbows come back, we're making them come out. So they're staying slightly internally rotated. And from here, I wanna think less about driving the handles down and more about driving my elbows towards each other and pushing myself out of the bench without lifting my chest. So this is gonna be the first part of the movement. Scarecrow out wide, elbows come right in, wide to narrow. And then the second part of the movement is gonna be that pec minor dip, which is just simply a shrug down. So you can see it's a subtle movement. This would be the full movement here, here, there. So out wide, in narrow, finish pec minor. And so we're really trying to warm up the chest. Again, pec minor is often something that people often don't think about as well. But to be able to move my shoulder blade up and in, and then down and out, so I can start filling in this outer part of the pec that a lot of guys don't have as well. Okay, so from here, we're gonna do 4 sets. Most of our exercises today are gonna be 4 sets, following that pyramid scheme. So our first set, 15 reps. We're gonna go to our second warm-up set. We're gonna increase the weight, decrease the reps. All right, so second warm-up set. Again, we're talking about lower pec here. That's why our elbows, they can't sneak back. They gotta come out wide. We're gonna call that as wide as possible right there. And that's as narrow as possible with my elbows. If I want to increase the tension, I can stop at the top, hold, press. Oh, okay, so 3 sets down, we're gonna do 1 more. Just a really good warm up. Like the whole idea here is to get a pump before we start going to our presses. Now, for most people, this could be a warm-up, or you could use a pec deck or a fly for a warm-up. The only reason why I'm not doing flies is because that would be the most riskiest thing for me to do for my arm. Still, being careful. We're now coming up to 13 weeks post-surgery. So the only thing that I'm really not doing is fly movements and dumbbell curls. Everything else I'm doing. And so for you guys that are doing your chest workout, you can definitely do a fly. You're just not gonna see me do one today. But also it just goes to show you that to get a really effective chest workout, you don't necessarily need flies. And because I'm not able to do a fly, I'm doing this as if it was my warm up for a fly. So you could substitute that, but the idea here is similar to a fly. It's like you're driving your biceps across, not just pushing a handle, not just moving cables. So if I was doing a fly, it would just be same thing. It's like I'm trying to feel my chest and take my arms away from it. So that's what I'm doing here, is even though this might look like it's involving some triceps and shoulder, which 100% it is, but we're not necessarily always trying to isolate. We're also trying to integrate. So again, I can already feel my chest pumping up. And if you guys are trying this one, try to get that hard feeling down here in the lower pec on both sides. Because once you got that going, you're gonna know, once we go into our next exercise, you're gonna get a mind-muscle connection right away. So let's go. Last set here, because we're pyramiding up, will be our last set, heaviest set. Okay, here we go. Oh, okay. See, already got a good pump going on. So you know it's gonna be a good chest day. Now we can get to work on our presses. Let's go. Decline presses, this is one of my favorites, the Nautilus. You guys might already know this, but just something for you guys to think about. Why decline presses are important for your chest day. Internal rotation here, giving you actually more tension through your chest and taking less through your shoulders, as opposed to more externally rotated, putting you more towards involving your shoulders. Yes, you're getting upper chest, but we're talking chest day here, guys. So this is gonna be a staple, bread and butter. Dorian Yates himself used decline presses as a staple. If you don't have this machine, it's okay. You can make it happen with either doing a decline Smith press, or you can set up a decline with a flat bench just by putting a plate underneath the front of it. Either way, you can also do a dip. Either way, you want to make sure you're hitting those fibers like we talked about. So this is how we're going to do it here. So getting ourselves in the right position is important, especially at the beginning. So what a lot of guys tend to do that I notice is they'll set these handles so far back that now in order to get back here, I have to wedge myself down with my elbow super low. Now when I go and try to push, I'm trying to push the handles up when they're actually trying to go down right away. So this is one of the best machines because we can adjust the handles. We can set it to fit my arms. And this is where I feel like from the bottom, I can be pushing myself this way, which is, I would say this is downhill, okay? And I'm keeping my chest not up, but I would say this is even downhill or just remaining forward. And now from here, again, I'm not starting down here. This is where it feels like I want to start, but trust me, this is where I'm going to get more of those lower pec fibers and less shoulder and elbow pain. Now, we can take it and we can go all the way together, hold one side, switch. And what I'm trying to do here, maintain the isometric locked out position by holding with my chest. As I finish through, switching to hold with my other chest, holding all the way to the bottom, switching again, building up that mind-muscle connection. I also have to prevent the rotation. So if I start to rotate, I'm gonna run into problems here with my shoulder. I need to really use my abs to hold myself in. Okay? That feels super great when I'm doing lightweight. It also lets me know that I have full control over the weight. The connection's there before I increase the weight.
Hold it in, hold it in.
Oh. Yeah, oh yeah.
And then you get so attached to going back versus going out. And,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, same idea, right? Like that. Oh, wait, these are separate. There's all one.
Yeah. Now we can see where that starts to pair in because we just did the dips. I'm talking about getting those elbows to finish rather than just pushing handles. It is the same thing here because these handles, we can keep pushing them, but we're not actually moving with the chest until we come all the way through and come out as wide as we can. So I think that's where we're talking about people getting into that mistake of just trying to get more range. So this feels like, well, don't I want a bigger stretch? But I'm not getting the stretch where I want it to because I've stretched everything to get there. Right. So what makes it harder is, can I maintain that while the chest stretches around it?
It's like, this tension feels like your ribcage being pulled forward into that. Now that's a stretch, for sure.
That's a big stretch now. And so there, lock in, have to engage my legs.
Engage your trunk. Just squeeze your elbows. So this is out and in more than forward and back. This is a convergence. So when you converge, that means our shoulder blades can move. Expect it to move on the machine. The lat floor team.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, it's only one of the best like chest exercises ever.
Here we go. Oh. Oh yeah. Nice. Big PRs today, guys. So PR in terms of the first time I've done 3 plates since surgery. And this is great. Everything's feeling super good. And this is why we're practicing these principles over and over and over again, building it up like a skill. So no matter what, we can target our chest, fill it up, regardless of the weight, regardless of the circumstance. We get a good workout done. So after this, we move on. We're gonna go to our flat press. So like we talked about with those pronation angles, we've covered this lower angle, and we're gonna start moving on to these middle 2. Okay, so we're moving on to our flat press. We're gonna use the NewTech here. This is a really unique piece of equipment. We showed you guys in the last video about how you can change the tension by using this to change the tension. Now what we're gonna be talking about is how you can get 2 angles on your chest instead of just one. So we're gonna be getting the mid fibers and those mid to upper fibers. So what we're really focusing on here with our grip, because this handle is going to rotate as we push through, it's going to rotate the handles for us, which is gonna end up looking like starting in a flat press and ending up with a slight biceps looking up. So as we come down, we're not so worried about how far back can we get the handles, but how far wide can I come across to finish coming through with that handle finishing all the way into the upper chest. So as I finish that press, I'm thinking about pushing that microphone with my chest towards the camera. Nice. Same idea here. We're going to be pyramiding up, 4 sets, increasing the weight each set till we get to our top set. We also worked on that technique where we breathe in, hold, exhale, and then press. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, just makes it that much more challenging. And what you probably can't see is rather than trying to expand the belly as breathing in, we're trying to expand out the side and kind of out the back. So what that's doing is tightening out the front, allowing us to expand up here. And then as we push, keeping that tight to finish that squeeze. And the whole of the bottom is just, so every time you press, you're not rushing out of it. You're thinking, engage chest, finish chest. Engage chest, finish chest, and that's it. So one of the biggest cues here is, again, not lifting the chest, because as we're pressing, if we think lift the chest, imagine if I was to come and try to push somebody. Well, if I was pushing somebody with my chest already up, and I come at you like this, I'm already going backwards. So I'm coming at you and you can push me off my feet. But if I came at you with my chest forward, that involves me keeping my abs and my rib cage down. Now with chest forward, I can really push. You see that coming at you? You see that big chest coming at you? Not big belly coming at you with the chest up. So that's the difference, is engaging that core. We have that ability to push better, and that's where we're gonna get bigger chest. Let's keep it going, guys. Okay, last set. That's it. Whew. Good failure set. Almost back to doing the full stack. Now we can move on to what you guys have been waiting for, incline chest. Okay, so we're on our incline press now. Of course, we're trying to hit that upper chest. You guys want that upper chest. I'm gonna show you the biggest mistake that most guys make when they're doing their incline presses, and that's just simply that they're overarching on their incline press. So if I arch my spine a lot here, and I try to get into position, it's gonna feel like that's where I'm gonna get a lot of stretch on my chest. But if we come in a little bit closer and we take a look at where my hands are pointing, we're gonna see that right now my hands are actually pointing off towards the mirror in this direction. What I wanna do to get more of my upper chest, I'm gonna have to push my back through the bench and allow myself to get a little bit more external rotation. Now from here, when I press, we can see from this bottom position, I can follow that machine around to a 90 degrees here at the top, where I'm still pointed backwards, following it down, out wide, finishing up, back, and in. Now again, I'm not trying to lift my chest to meet the bar. I need to make sure I'm keeping that lower back pressed firmly through the pad as I finish all the way through. So it's gonna feel like narrow rib cage, narrow abs to finish narrow rib cage, narrow abs. All right, so give that a try, guys. And remember, if you're lacking mobility in your shoulder, you might not be able to reach a full range of motion. That's why this machine is actually really nice. So check this out. We like to pick machines where you can adjust the range of motion. So similar with this one and similar over here on this machine, if you don't have that full range of motion on your shoulder, you can simply pick a machine that allows you to set your range of motion to where you're comfortable, and that'll allow you to keep the tension where you want it and not have so much elbow or shoulder pain. Oh, yep. Whew. How's that looking? Filling in all of the different angles of that pec. So now we're getting up in here. We've got that lower chest. We filled in the middle of the chest. There it is. Yeah. Whew. Yeah, really good pump today. Okay, so should we, talking to everybody. Should we do more? Maybe some tricep. We'll do one for tricep and then we'll do a little posing. Okay, so we're gonna finish off our chest day today with some push downs for your triceps. Now, what we're gonna do with the tricep push down today, guys, if you saw my arm day video, you're gonna know the setup already. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start working on bringing it back a little bit more, which is now gonna make us really work hard in that locked out position. So as opposed to being here, where we're getting more of this stretch position, the more we walk it back, the less stretch we're gonna get and the more tension we're gonna get in that lockout position. So I do have to use my shoulders here. If I don't use my shoulders, I'm gonna end up extending out in front of me, which is not what we wanna do. We need to actually use those rear delts to hold us back as we lock out. All right, it's good. How's that looking? We don't need to do a ton of volume for triceps today. We are also gonna be doing triceps on our shoulder day as well. Okay guys, we're gonna do a mechanical drop set here. This is gonna get super crazy. We're gonna use a lot of weight here. And the mechanical drop set is gonna be our first position, which is our back position, or our first position, which is our locked out position, and then our second position, which is our stretch position. All right? Whoa. 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 Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, yep. Yeah. 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 Okay. Woo. Good, so just another way of increasing intensity. We do a mechanical drop set, so like I said, the first position, it's really hard to lock it out. When you walk it forward, a little easier to lock it out, but more stretch. So 2 in 1, full tricep.
To feel the shoulder flexion extension.
Yep.
And then kind of follow it in.
Okay.
And then start.
Yep. So hang.
Just feel this come out.
Yep.
Just let it hang there for a second.
Yep.
Pick it up on this.
Okay.
Not on this. No. Yeah. That's
Yeah. Oh. Oh God, here we go. Let's finish it off, eh? Woo! Oh yeah. Ah, ah, that's how it's done. Okay, fully pumped. Let's go in the posing room and check it out, shall we? You think it's gonna be over or under 300 pounds? I think so too. I had cookies yesterday.
304. Nice.
304. Told you I had cookies yesterday. Not bad. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we're still in our recovery phase. So I feel like I'm way ahead of the game in terms of making good progress towards not only getting healthier, but also still developing my muscles as well, staying relatively lean, 300 pounds. I'm literally on TRT and Biolabs peptides and GH. So nice. There it is. Remember guys, healthy people build more muscle. See you in the next video. Stay pumped.